It's been a busy month for us and to cool things down, my colleague Amar Katkar and I have decided to take a day off, hit the open road and see where it takes us. We have picked our 2015 car of the year for this road trip. While it has rocked the sales chart since its launch, I personally haven't got enough time with the car to find out for myself what the hype is all about. So we have our bags loaded in the trunk, a tank full of fuel and the open highway to find out just that. Meanwhile, my colleagues are driving the new Honda BRV in Udaipur and I might just surprise them by showing up in the Creta. Now this Creta is the one with the 1.6 litre 6-speed manual configuration, same as the Verna. I've been driving it for a while now and I'm simply loving how refined this motor is. The motor is silent and the cabin is well insulated, making the drive that much more relaxed. What makes it even better is how punchy this engine is. The car is quick to gain speeds and it is easy to maintain them. There's ample of torque on offer, which makes overtaking absolutely easy. There is a bit of a turbo lag because of which you're forced to work the gears more often. However, the shifts are slick and precise, so you don't really mind it, especially on highways like these. In the city though, you might just find it to be a bit bothersome. One thing that I found really impressive about this car is its ride quality. It tackles potholes and undulations with utmost ease. The downside of having a softer suspension setup is evident when you push the Creta hard around corners. There is a noticeable body roll, which is why it doesn't feel very positive and more importantly, doesn't do justice to the potential of the powertrain. The steering is light and lacks feedback, which robs you of some more confidence when driving enthusiastically. And then, to make it worse, there isn't enough bite from the brakes either. Now this is what a 5-seater SUV should be like. There's ample of knee and legroom at the back, the seat is wide enough for 3 and the floor is flat, so legroom for the third isn't compromised either. You have bottle holders on either doors and a central armrest to make things comfortable. After driving the Creta for a good 700 kilometers yesterday, it wasn't difficult for me to figure out why the car was the most awarded one in 2015. This year though, Honda brings with it the winds of change with its entry in the compact SUV segment. But is this wind strong enough to uproot the foundation of the Creta? Getting straight to the heart of the matter, the BRV's engine is a familiar 1.5-litre turbocharged diesel that we have already experienced on the Mobilio. It makes a lot less power and torque than the Creta and it shows when you drive it. In fact, you will especially feel the need for more grunt when the car is fully loaded. The turbo lag makes things a little more difficult for the BRV. While it does feel energetic in its power band, it isn't enough to balance out the deficit power and torque. A lot of buyers have been looking for a genuine 7-seater compact SUV option in the market. Till recently, barring the jump seat fitted Scorpio and the Tata Safari Storm, there were none. Honda has very smartly positioned the BRV for these kind of buyers. In the third row, the BRV feels fairly spacious. There is enough room for young kids, but it won't be as comfortable for young adults if the journey is long. Space in the second row isn't compromised either. That being said, we would have liked better under-thigh support on all seats. Despite sporting a stiffer suspension, the ride on the BRV is quite impressive, although it just isn't as good as the Creta. Go a little faster and the bumps start seeping into the cabin, especially for the passengers at the back. Occupants seated in the third row get tossed around, especially over continuous undulations.
Handling is one department in which the BRV easily trumps the Creta. The stiff suspension makes it fun to chuck around corners, the Michelin tires provide good grip, and the steering wheel is well weighted and precise too.
The BRV sports disc brakes up front and a drum setup at the back. Bite from the brakes is good, so is the stopping power, especially for a car of its size. Most importantly, the BRV gets ABS as standard fitment across all variants.
Like I said before, with the Honda BRV, you now have the option of a genuine 7-seater compact SUV, and that is going to be its biggest USP. It also has handling working in its favor. However, these are the only points where the BRV scores well. The engine isn't punchy enough for a car of its size, and the interior quality isn't great either. And it doesn't quite look like an SUV. Moreover, the price that it comes at, it's pretty poorly equipped. The Creta, on the other hand, although an expensive proposition, has a lot working in its favor. The features list is longer and the interiors are better built too. And most importantly, the engine feels a lot more enthusiastic and refined with NVH levels well within control. Although it doesn't handle as well as the BRV, it is clearly the better SUV of the two and definitely worth every penny.